Hello, good day everyone. I am IRB Humawan and I am assigned to report the considerations in microbial control. We all know that bacteria, viruses, and any microorganisms that could be harmful or not are everywhere. So is it necessary for us to consider microbial control? Let's find out. Ever since microbes were shown to cause diseases, it may be in our food or in our body because microbes may be present everywhere. People have invented different techniques to control their speed because there are so many incidents that has been reported due to contaminations. Control of microorganisms is essential in order to prevent the transmission of diseases and infection, stop decomposition and spoilage, and prevent unwanted microbial contamination. Microorganisms are controlled by means of physical agents and chemical agents. Control of microbial growth means to inhibit or prevent growth of microorganisms. A microbial control program plays a key role in controlling pathogenic microorganisms in food. The goal of microbial control is to identify food safety risks due to pathogenic microorganisms present in food manufacturing. A successful program is based on prevention, inhibition, and removal of harmful microbes. So let's go now to the 6 types of microbial control. We have sterilization, chemical agents, disinfectants, antiseptics, antibacterial, and microbicides. Let's go first to sterilization. Referring to any process that eliminates or kills forms of microbial life, including transmissible agents such as fungi, bacteria, viruses, and spore forms present on a surface contained in a fluid, in medication, or in a compound. Sterilization destroys yeast, molds, vegetative bacteria, and spore formers and allows the food to process or store and distribute the product's ambient temperatures with the extended shelf life. Sterilization prior to filing in the container, as accomplished in aseptic processing, requires relatively short heating periods. This sterilization process is usually accomplished by heating the product rapidly to 130 to 145 degrees Celsius, holding for an appropriate time, then rapidly cooling the product. So this is the examples of how to do sterilization. So methods of sterilization is we have high temperature, low temperature, liquid chemicals, and others. So for high temperature, we have steam or dry heat. For low temperature, we have ethylene oxide gas, hydrogen peroxide, ozone, gas plasma, gaseous chlorine dioxide, ionizing radiation, pulsed light, and for liquid chemicals, we have chemical sterilants, and for others, we have filtration. Okay, so let's go to the chemical agents. A chemical agent is a chemical compound that has toxic effects on human health. So, dangerous din siya para sa tuang mga people. Within this definition, the term includes dusts, mixtures, and even common materials such as paints, fuels, and solvents. The term chemical agent means any chemical element or compound on its own or admixed as it occurs in the natural state or as produced, used, or released, including release as waste by any work activity, whether or not produced intentionally and whether or not placed on the market. Chemical agents are used for various reasons, such as ranging from controlling crowds to chemical warfare. So there are 4 basic types of military agents that can be used for chemical terrorism. So ang chemical agents muna siya ang ginayus para magbuhat og mga military nga mga butang. Just ang examples ng mga chemical for terrorism is the choking agents such as chlorine and phosgene. We also have blister agents such as mustard, levisite, phosgene oxime. We also have blood agents such as kyanide, hydrogen kyanide, and nerve agents such as tabun, sarin, soman, and VX. So these are some of the examples of chemical agents, but I don't know if you are any familiar with it, but just tanawa lang siya, guys. So let's go now to the disinfectant. Disinfection describes a process that eliminates many or all pathogenic microorganisms, except bacterial spores, on inanimate objects. In healthcare settings, objects usually are disinfected by liquid chemicals or wet pasteurization. Disinfection does not necessarily kill all microorganisms, especially resistant bacterial spores. So it is less effective than sterilization. So moto siya, mas less ang disinfection, mas less siya o kanang effect sa sterilization. So disinfectants are different from other antimicrobial agents such as antibiotics, which destroy microorganisms within the body. Disinfectants are also different from biocides, as these are intended to destroy all forms of life, not just microorganisms. Disinfectants work by destroying the cell of microbes or interfering with their metabolism. So we have the examples of chemical disinfectants. We have alcohol, chlorine and chlorine compounds, formaldehyde, glutaraldehyde, hydrogen peroxide, iodophores, UPA, and peracetic acid. And let's go now to antiseptics. Antimicrobial substances that are applied to living tissue or skin to reduce the possibility of infection, sepsis, or putrefaction. Antiseptics or skin disinfectants are chemicals for cleaning the skin and wounds. Antiseptics are generally distinguished from antibiotics by the latter's ability to be transported through the lymphatic system to destroy bacteria within the body, and from disinfectants, which destroy microorganisms found on non-living objects. They can kill or prevent the growth of microorganisms. Although antiseptics can be very useful, there are some questions around their safety for topical use, or especially in the long term. Okay, so naiuban nga mali ilang mga perception, like murang maglibog sila kung unsa ang disinfectants and antiseptic. So both antiseptics and disinfectants eliminate disease-causing organisms, but the difference is in how each substance is used. Disinfectants are used to kill germs on non-living surfaces, while ang antiseptics kill microorganisms on your skin. So, muna ilang kalahian, guys. And so, these are the examples of antiseptic. So, I don't know why giblard na siya, pero I hope kanang namoy na ilhan anak bisag isa lang. Okay, so let's go now to antibacterial. Anything that destroys bacteria or suppresses their growth or their ability to reproduce. Heat, chemicals such as chlorine, and antibiotic drugs all have antibacterial properties. Many antibacterial products for cleaning and hand washing are sold today, especially nga na COVID-19 karon, diba? It is really necessary for us to have antibacterial agents ato ang mga butang-butang. So, antibacterial agents are a group of materials that fight against pathogenic bacteria. Thus, by killing or reducing the metabolic activity of bacteria, their pathogenic effect in the biological environments will be minimized. Okay, so let's go now to microbicides. Okay, so mga ate o kuya, paminaw dyan mo ani para laging handa. Because microbicides are products applied inside the vagina or rectum to prevent HIV transmission through sex. So, muna siya ang mag-prevent sa HIV. So, one of the prevention of transmission of HIV ni siya, yes, as what I said to kanina, most microbicides that are being tested include antiretroviral or ARV drugs, which fight the virus. There are several types of microbicides in development and testing today. So, microbicides which destroy virus particles are called verticides or antiviral. So, unsa man ning vericides or antiviral? So, antiviral drugs are a class of medication used for treating viral infections. Most antiviral target specific viruses, while a broad-spectrum antiviral is effective against a wide range of viruses. Unlike most antibiotics, antiviral drugs do not destroy their target pathogen. Instead, they inhibit its development. So, lahi po siya o kanang use no na siya specific just like sa mga uban mga microbial control. Okay, so that's the last part for the and sa mga kuan na to, mga types of microbial control. Let's go now to levels of microbial presence. Microbial evaluation plays a very important role in food quality evaluation by providing spectral information relevant to microbial attributes. Spectroscopy technology has been introduced and applied for microbial quality evaluation of food products in a rapid and non-destructive way. Microbiological criteria are used at any stage in the food chain to assess the acceptance of lots of raw materials or finished product. They are based on the absence or presence of certain microorganisms or quantitative limits of these or other microorganisms per units of mass, volume, area, or lot. The degree of acceptable microbial presence can differ based on the circumstances, and because daghan man kayo ta mga instances nga microbial presence is most likely to occur, that's why we have the types of microbial control, and each of them has its specific use, such as sterilization. As I mentioned kanina, as a definition, means that all life was terminated, whereas sanitation and disinfection terminated selectively and partially. Both sanitation and disinfection reduce the number of targeted pathogenic organisms to what are considered acceptable levels that a reasonably healthy, intact body can deal with it. And so, in general, surgical instruments and medications that enter an already aseptic part of the body must be sterilized to a highly sterility assurance level, so that is SAL. Food preservation is another yield where the presence of microorganisms is taken under consideration. The process usually involves preventing the growth of bacteria, fungi such as yeast, and other microorganisms. And yes, that's the end. That's the end for my report. I hope you've learned something from it because it can make a significance in your life. Have a good day.